Welcome back. It is a new year. Happy 2024. And today, Julie, I didn't prep you on this
No,
one.
what are we talking about?
I figure it's a new year, so we should talk about the bridges that we burn lighting our way as we PCS from one place to another. And I don't know, I can't be the only one who does this, but I thought it would be a good topic.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Do you find yourself burning bridges when you feel like we're leaving soon?
Yes. I think it's a very normal thing, and if you really pay attention to your other spouses, you'll start to notice that they may tend to do it too, is that they start to distance themselves.
Yes.
They start to pull back.
They pull back.
And you start kind of like
maybe
getting
they start
busy.
Severing ties a little bit.
Yeah, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to leave. There's been a couple of times where when I've had to say bye to my friends, I just broke down.
Right.
Here will be one of those.
Right. Oh.
But
I'm going to take that to heart.
Yeah, like just break down crying. And I always feel bad when I do that because I know John feels bad.
Sure.
He feels horrible that he has to take me away. Like when we've had a really good place.
Right.
He feels bad. But on the other side of that, when we've had somewhere really bad, he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I am running to get away. Like when we left Houston, I was like flipping at the bird as I crossed out of town.
Yes.
And as I left and it's nothing against Texas. Texas, you have some really great areas. I love, like, there are some beautiful parts of Texas. But Houston, you suck. I'm sorry, but you do. For me, Houston was hard. And I was ready to go.
Right.
And I never wanted to go back, ever.
Yeah, I find when I know I'm leaving, I become a little more loose with the things I say.
Yeah.
I become a little less careful, a little less controlled. And because I'm anticipating leaving friends, sometimes I start severing those ties early. Like way too early, uncomfortably early.
Yeah, you should not do that.
No, I'm so bad at it though because I'm bad with goodbyes.
Tough shit.
I know. I know, and I can't be the only one who does this.
I will be at your house. Knocking on your door like, what the hell?
Why are you disappearing?
Why are you
ghosting
disappearing on me? Why are you ghosting me? Stop it right now.
I cannot be the only one who uses the burned bridges to light my way to the next tour.
Yeah, you're not. I think part of us all do it.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism for us.
Right?
Yeah, it's easier to burn the bridge than it is to say goodbye and then try to maintain that friendship when you move.
That is so difficult because you're in this place, this limbo, where you want to keep your old friends from your old tour because you also have the hope that maybe you'll all be stationed together again.
Yeah.
But the reality is you have to make new friends and find a new tribe and do all new things.
Yeah.
And have new experiences and new memories with this new group. And is that making your old friends upset? Are they happy for you? Are they celebrating that you've moved on?
It's still, they're still very entrenched in where you were in that whole life. And you know all of that. So when they're talking about all of that, you know it all.
Exactly.
But they don't have a knowledge of all the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah. And then things get awkward and you're just like, you know what? I can't stand the awkward.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to like rekindle this friendship that is slowly starting to lose its grip. And is that more painful than just burning the bridge today?
Yeah. Sometimes I do feel like burning the bridge. Like, I don't even burn it. Sometimes I just throw like a grenade in the middle of it and just like, bye. Blow it straight up. But yeah, that's a hard thing. I do it. I absolutely do it.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
It's really difficult.
And like, yeah, you do hope that and like I maintain casual friendships with people. Like I'll still text some people and I don't have a lot. 'Cause I don't know. I don't make a lot of friends. I guess I'm not really that friendly, I guess.
No, I think first of all, we are both sort of introvert. You are I would say the more extroverted person.
See, I don't see that at all.
I know. I know, but you really are.
I force myself sometimes to do that because I have this thing where all of a sudden I'll be like, screw it, I'm just going to go do this thing.
Right.
And I don't care. And as I've gotten older, I tend to be more like extroverted because I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, what's the worst that could happen?
Right. No, I haven't gotten there yet. I would rather just not. I can be extroverted for my job, but I don't want to be extroverted with
And see,
people.
yes. And see, I feel like in private, yes, I'm probably more extroverted when it's like us, when we're in certain situations.
Right.
But when we're out, sometimes you be the more extroverted.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like you're my secret weapon. Like, like I know that you will say what needs to be said.
Okay.
And I sometimes am like, I'm glad she said it.
I think that's my asterisk. I'm not using this word lightly, but I think that's my autism showing because I sometimes I am socially unaware that I am saying the wrong thing or an aggressive thing because I usually don't mean anything aggressively until you have like wronged someone.
And when you wrong someone in front of Stephanie, she lets you have it.
I will. I fiercely defend what is right.
Yes. She fiercely defends what is right, but she also fiercely defends her friends.
That's it. I will.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like to see somebody being walked all over, and I will not be silent if there is an injustice.
Yeah. And see, that is not me at all. At all. So I'm like, here, Stephanie.
Stephanie takes one step forward. Julie takes one step back.
Like, I'm going to let you talk to Stephanie on this one. But
defer to my extrovert friend.
But then when it's like, we need to go do this, and you're like, I'm like, let's go.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, let's go to Bowie and get coffee. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But you do it. And I know I can sometimes guilt you into doing it too.
Yeah, you can very easily.
Oh yeah. But like we have to get out. And that's one thing I have absolutely learned is like you have to get out. Like if you stay at home or into your routine and you don't get out and try new things or go do new things, like you will like just like you just kind of wither.
Yeah.
And then you end up in your velour tracksuit, your velour set.
I will say it is very comfortable.
Right?
It's so soft and warm. I know.
From Walmart.
Thank you for that, by the way.
I got Stephanie. I first of all bought myself this velour sweatshirt and pants set. And then I was like, this is like wearing a teddy bear. Yeah. Stephanie must have one.
Yeah, no, I wore it all week.
So like I plan my days as to which days I know I'll be able to be in my suit.
I think I'm wearing this shirt right. I am. I'm wearing it right now.
I'm like, what days can I wear my velour suits?
Yeah, it's very snuggly.
And John told me, he's like, that's like a step and a half above a muumuu.
It has pants.
I'm like, it's fancy.
It shines.
But I did have to change when I went to Walmart. I was like, I cannot be seen in the velour suit
I'm
I wore
actually in
at
my Walmart
Walmart
pants right now.
From Walmart.
My leggings from Walmart.
He's like, but you'll be better dressed. Still. But yeah.
So, yeah, you have to find friends. But when you know you're leaving,
yeah,
I find it easy. So I'm giving you a heads up. This is actually my disclaimer for a year from now. A year and a half from now, that if I start to set little fires, it's not because I'm upset with you or I don't love you. It's because I am emotionally starting to separate.
I'm just going to go ahead and start telling you goodbye early then.
No, don't do that.
I feel like if you don't talk to me and quit being a little snot, I'm going to tell you goodbye now.
No, you can't do that. No, because I don't know that I'm doing it initially. I'm just like, no, I don't want to hang out.
You know what we should do? We should create a best friend bucket list.
We should.
Then you're forced to complete it.
Yes.
Before I leave.
Yeah, we should do that. Wait, are you leaving before I am? No, we're leaving at the same time. What are you even talking about? Why are you doing that? Why are you
I'm
freaking
preempting
out?
you or preempting. We need to do it.
You broke me out for a second. It's like, oh my gosh. What?
We're leaving next week. No.
No.
You don't have time to burn this bridge.
That's what we have to do. You have to just not tell me that
Not tell you when we're leaving.
And just be like, boom, I'm gone.
Surprise! Be like, hey, Stephanie, we're rolling out today.
Right?
Where are you going?
So
we're leaving.
I have to tell you about the most heartbreaking thing that happened to me. When we were stationed in Staten Island, my very best friend in the whole world at the time, I thought she was like a sister. We have matching tattoos. I mean, we did all the bucket list things, right?
Yeah.
We got tattoos. and we had a plan. So my birthday is in July, and that's typically when everybody PCSs. So I never get a chance to have fun with my friends for my birthday because everybody is leaving typically. And we had a whole week planned. Every single day for the week of my birthday, we had a plan. Here's where we were going to go. We were going to get up at this time. We were going to go on the bus, hit the things, do the stuff. And 3 days before my birthday, I messaged her and I was like, okay, what time are we leaving? And she's like, I'm in Wisconsin. And I'm like, you're where now? She's like, yep. I decided that my husband was going to PCS without us because the idea of saying goodbye to you was too difficult. And so I just said, PCS, I've got the kid, and I'll see you guys there. Like, you join me when you have checked out of your place and stuff. And she just left. She just got on a plane and left. And I was like, but it's my birthday week. We had a whole plan. She's like, yep, nope, that was going to be too difficult. So I just decided not to do it. What? And
oh my God.
I died.
That is just mean.
I cried I can't even tell you
That's not a friend.
How long I cried over that because that's the grenade on a bridge.
That's like napalm. That's not even a grenade. That is like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to reconcile that was her way of burning the bridge and having the light her way to the next place. She was not capable of saying goodbye. And
are you still friends with her?
No, but it was many months later. But I digress. That one thing was her way.
I would have cried my way through it. Like,
yeah.
Because I would have been like, I can't let Stephanie down.
Well, and I like to think that I'm that kind of friend also, but she was that kind of friend throughout our friendship, but that was her way of burning the bridge before she left. And I have gotten to a place where I understand it now.
So don't do this.
Right. If you're going to burn a bridge,
give them a heads up.
Right.
Like, just be honest. Just be honest.
Yes.
Just tell them, like, I'm going to have a hard time with this. And figure out a way to deal with it.
Right.
Like, be an adult.
Yeah. Burn the bridge after you do all the fun things.
Yeah.
And then by burn the bridge, I mean, like, maybe just stop walking across it. Leave the bridge there.
Like, wave from the other side.
Right.
Just, like, keep the bridge up. Because keep
the bridge intact.
You know that we have a friend. We're going to talk about these rules another time. But you know that we have a friend who has 3 rules for staying in the Coast Guard, right?
Right.
And one of his rules is to never say F you Coast Guard.
Right.
Never say F you friends. Like, because you never know, what happens if you get stationed with that person again?
Right.
How awkward will that be?
How awkward would that have been? That would have been probably more awkward for me.
That would have been like Dubai Bling awkward. I love that show. God, it's so bad. I love it.
Yeah. So if you are one of the people who burns a bridge on your way out, keep in mind the relationships that you have spent all that time building the bridge with.
Yeah.
And maybe, and this is, I'm going to be honest, it's advice for me too. Maybe not set it on fire, just, wave from the other side nicely, right?
Yeah. I do burn bridges sometimes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people just grow apart. Like, sometimes people's, like, political views change.
Sure.
Or become very different. They have, like, families. Their kids. Right. And, like, changing Like, if all of a sudden you have friends who have younger kids than you,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, you may look at that and be like, yeah, that's not how I would do that.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
not how I did it. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah. I have a friend, not a military, well, not a friend anymore. I have a person that I was friends with, and like, it was to the point where, like, she and her husband were getting a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
and she could not make ends meet. So John and I were able to loan her money.
Oh, wow.
And so, like, it kept her from going homeless.
Right.
And so, and we were friends, and then she moved on the West Coast.
Okay.
And just started to change. And, like, here's what I hate. And as I get older, it's what I'm starting to realize when I look for friends. I don't like when I can't discuss certain topics with friends.
I see. Yeah.
When you
Okay.
can't discuss, when you have to, like, really censor.
Right. Dance around topics.
Sure. Censor yourself, make sure you don't say anything that's going to be, like, hurtful or anything. That is not something I'm interested in any longer.
Sure.
I want to be able to be myself, to say the things I want to say, how I want to say them.
Right.
Like, I know someone who does not like cursing, so I would limit myself to that. I curse a lot.
No, and that's difficult. That's a good point.
And that's difficult, and I just feel like I was always having to censor.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and there was this big thing that happened, and kind of like with your friend, like, I, you know, had the boys, but I needed a break. I was like, I need a girls' trip. And I was planning to go, and I was like, I'm a huge Mumford & Sons fan. Love them. And they were having a concert near where she lived, and I was like, we need to go. Can we do this?
Right.
And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, well, I got to go to Vegas for my job. Let's just go there instead. And I was crushed.
Yeah.
Crushed. So I just, like, I burned the bridge. I was like, no more. I stopped calling, stopped all of it. And then she, like, sent a letter later, and it's like, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. And she had paid me back part of the money, but not all of it.
So it's the same person.
Yeah. And so she sent me a letter, and she was like, you know, I miss our friendship, blah, 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 blah. So I gave her a second chance, but it was way worse. Like, I was really censoring myself.
That's tough.
Big time. But then she paid me the rest of the money back. I was like, okay, we're good. And like she ended the friendship, and I was thankful for that, because now I'm like, I don't have to deal with this anymore. I don't have to hear it anymore. I don't have to censor myself anymore. And I do back off from friends when I feel like I'm not able to be
respected the same way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I get that.
And even people here, like friends here, like, I start to back off when I'm like, it's just, I'm not being authentic to who I am.
Sure.
So
it is tough. And I think it's a topic that non-military spouses will never understand, because they probably have the same friends that they've had since, you know, grade school. We have to adapt everywhere we go. And I picture it like chiseling parts of yourself off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not trying to fit a mold, but you're trying to fit into a new environment. And maybe those aggressive corners, those sharp corners you have to kind of chisel away a little bit, even though that was part of you.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like, okay, well, maybe that was too sharp for some people. Maybe I need to round this off. And by the time our spouses are out of the military, we have become this completely different shape.
Yeah. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize, no, I'm not going to do that any longer.
It's tough.
It's tough. And I'm getting to the point where it's like, if someone can't accept me for who I am, as I am,
right,
rough edges and all, sharp edges and all,
mm-hmm.
then I don't really want them in my life.
Sure.
Because because I will be putting in more effort than they will. And I refuse to put in more effort anymore.
It is tough.
Like, if you're not making the effort, like, if I'm always the one being like, hey, let's go do this, or doing the invites, if I'm always the one initiating phone calls, if I'm always the one doing text messages, then that's a red flag for me to be like, no, because this person is not invested enough to pick up a phone and send a text.
Right.
Like, no.
Okay, I need to add. Listen, I'm really bad with Instagram, okay?
But you send back the meme.
I do.
You like,
takes you a few
you
days.
react to the ones I send you, but you
Yes.
send them back. I get that. Yeah.
When I'm home, I don't like to be on my phone. I'm really sorry, friends.
My whole Instagram feed now is all about raccoons because of all the ones I send you. It's like, there's a raccoon one. Let me send it to Stephanie.
I'm trying to be better at that. But no, I'm totally with you. And I don't know if it's because we're in our 40s now that we're just like, you know what? We don't need to chisel so much off.
Yeah.
We don't need to be friends with everybody. I think in my 20s, I needed to be friends with everybody, and it devastated me when someone didn't like me, or the idea of maybe somebody not liking me, that crushed me.
Yeah.
In my 30s, I was like, okay, I'm being a little more selective, but I'm still crushed if somebody doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Now in my 40s, I'm kind of like, okay.
They're not worth knowing.
Listen, I can't make you happy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, it's just not going to work. It's
Right.
It's not me, it's you.
No, I'm still very much like it's probably me. But
oh well.
I'm a lot more forgiving. Well, I can't say that because I've always been forgiving of people. I'm usually like, well, I must have really messed that up.
You are more forgiving, and you are more, I will say, you tend to be like, no, I'm sure it was me, more than I am. Because I'm very much like, no, it was all them. And I'm like, well, I don't care. I don't have to. What is it? I hold grudges. I'll forgive it.
You'll forgive them in hell.
I'll forgive them in hell. Like, it's just, that's always kind of been a part of my personality, though. It's like, I absolutely will hold grudges, but I was always taught that you're not, like, just suck it up.
Yeah.
Just be nice for the sake of being nice. Keep everything, copacetic.
Sure.
You know, and everybody happy, everybody good.
No, I'll forgive everybody. I blindly forgive people who are deliberately stabbing me in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm
talking
like,
about you behind your back.
yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. I understand.
You try to find the good in everybody.
I do. I probably deserved it, but I'm still sorry.
No. And the thing is like, I just look at it and I'm like, no.
Daddy,
Like,
stop apologizing.
I know. Stop apologizing. That's their fault. They're the person that's in wrong.
But even my friend at the time, when she was like, no, I'm in a completely different state, I just couldn't say goodbye. I was like, I get that. But like, I battled for a long time the logic from the emotion.
Yeah.
Because I'm very, one thing about me is I am very 50% logic and 50% emotion. I'm almost never led by one or the other.
Yeah.
If I feel a really strong emotion, I immediately equalize it with a logical thought. So I was crushed that she didn't want to spend this last week with me.
And see, now I'm like, I hate her.
But logically, at the same time, I was like, okay, well, I understand that. She's not good with goodbyes. That was really difficult for her. It was easier for her to just set everything on fire and walk away. I can get there. So I was able to get back to zero with it, but it was a tough
I can
recovery.
understand if that had been just like a normal thing, but to plan, that's where I'm like,
no, right?
that's where I'm like, no, because she took the time to plan
Yes.
all of those things.
Yeah,
At
and we were
any
excited.
Point, yeah, at any point during that planning, she could have stopped and said, this is going to be too much for me. I cannot do this.
Yes.
At any point, she would have been like, at any point prior to that, she could have been like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I apologize. I can't do this. And even if, like, she had sent you, like, a gift, like, even if she had, like, before she left you, like, a gift,
Sure.
or flowers or something as an apology, as
You
to,
know what?
like,
It could have just been a card.
or a card, or just some acknowledgement as to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do this. I've realized it's too hard.
Yeah.
Not to just run away and then wait for you to call her. And here's the part that bothers me is that, and I have to tell myself that people have their own lives. They have to be, take care of themselves. Okay. But to some point, you have to step up and be there for your friends. Like, that's what friendship is. Like, You may not want to go to Bowie Coffee, but you're going because I've asked.
Well, yeah. And I always have a good time.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm fun.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to step up and be like, ugh. Because there are times when there's stuff that I know I don't want to do, but I'm like, oh, Stephanie's counting on me. I've got to go do this.
Yes. But then also, if you canceled on me, I'd be like, it's okay. I understand.
Exactly. Like, today I was, like, trying to get all of my stuff together because I know you're always early. I'm like, Stephanie will already be there.
Yes.
And so I'm, like, trying to get all my stuff together. And I'm like, and I stop and I'm like, because I had to call the vet. And I was like, Stephanie's not going to care if I'm, like, a couple of minutes late. She's going to understand.
Of course.
But still, I don't want to be, like, super late and have you waiting.
That's funny.
So.
These things do not faze me.
I know. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's other things that happen. And I'm like, I know Stephanie doesn't care. I know she's happy. But I still have guilt. Because I care.
Yes.
And that's what you should do as a friend. You should care enough.
To not burn a bridge.
To not burn that bridge.
And that's where we are today, folks. Talking about, look, PCS season is 6 months away, and that means that you are planning the bridges you're about to burn. So
make your New Year's resolution to not burn bridges this summer.
Yeah, just, let the grass grow around it. Let it become overgrown. Hey, put a troll under that bridge. That's fine. Yeah. But don't burn it to the ground, and certainly do not explode it into smithereens.
Yeah, because if you're new to this life, you could still see that person. You could be stationed with them again. Yeah. Just an FYI. Yeah. Like, it hasn't happened often, but enough that, like, the people I stay in touch with on, like, through text and stuff, like, just casual, are people I've been stationed with more than once.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So there's your New Year's resolution, folks. Yeah. And
do we need to add the disclaimer that this is
we are not? Listen, I am talking about one specific person, not all specific people
that you have met.
That's right. We were together in one place many years ago, and her spouse is no longer in the Coast Guard. Yeah. And that is as specific as I need to be to make sure that everybody understands I'm only talking about one person. And this was a personal relationship that happened to me specifically. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have to, we had feedback, folks, that somebody thought we were talking about them one time, and we were not at all. We'd never ever met that person before. So.
Yeah. We really hope that you just take what we say in and not think that it's about you. Right. I mean, if it is, then...
Well, in that one particular case today, it was. But most times what we're here to talk about is like the global we, right? Yeah. What we all typically experience, what we're all probably guilty of. For example, burning bridges and having those flames light the way.
And also, like, if you're a new spouse and you're new to this is what happens. Like, if this happens to you, I am really sorry. Yes. But that's how people cope. That is absolutely a coping mechanism for a lot of spouses.
And we can be better than that. We can all band together and miss our friends as we move from place to place.
Yeah. And some people are great about staying friends with people, and some people are not. Some people are not good at long distance friendships. They're just not.
That's okay.
And that's okay.
You can just be Facebook friends then.
Yeah, and you'll make new friends. Right. But if you have a friend like Stephanie's.
That one time. Know that it hurts the person on the other end.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, thanks, folks. Don't be that way.
Happy New Year on that note. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Bye. Hey, thanks for taking a moment with us, the Mommandants. You can find us on our website at mommandantsmoments.com.
We also have social media, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, all with Mommandants Moments.